Здравствуйте, друзья! С вами снова Билли Бонс и Шерлок Холмс. Мы продолжаем расследовать дело под названием «Трагедия в Кью-Гарден». Вроде как мы осмотрели уже все улики, но странно почему-то нам не... вот мы не осмотрели кровь.
Someone fell violently against this
Вот
sign,
я
and they were
только
injured in the
сейчас это
clash,
заметил.
most likely a head wound. All the clues around here are quite suspicious. I need my imagination to make sense of it all.
Так. Так. Видимо, его
This
заперли.
reconstruction reveals a disturbing fact. Montague Dunn damaged the door of the Colonial Collection Room.
He was in a panic, or the door was locked. Was it an accident or a murder then, I wonder?
Так, посмотрим, что у нас среди улик. Так, пока первая догадка. Проведите аутопсию Монтегю Дана. Смерть подозрительно. Почему он ломился в дверь комнаты колониальной коллекции? Почему кто-то опустошил и убрал комнату? Это ловушка или несчастный случай? Угу. У нас есть еще одно задание. Нам нужно пообщаться, не пообщаться, а так вот, поискать в архиве список растений Kew Gardens. Так. Скотланд-Ярд. Давайте начнем со Скотланд-Ярда, а потом уже отправимся к своему архиву. Жаль, нельзя крутить камеру в кэбе, а то было бы интересно посмотреть, что там у нас за окнами.
I asked Inspector Lestrade to take Montague Dunn's body to Scotland Yard.
It's ready for autopsy then.
Так, нам опять, видимо,
It's
надо
ready for autopsy then.
морг. Не самое лучшее место.
First of all,
Будем
let us
осматривать
carry out
тело.
an external examination. There are no suspicious marks upon the chest. Let us finish our external examination so that we can proceed with the autopsy. No redness, stings, or bruises. Nothing suspicious here.
Так, обе руки мы осмотрели, грудь осмотрели. Здесь осматривать нечего, лицо.
There is an injury to the skull, most probably caused by the fall in the water lily greenhouse. The vessels and the pupil of the eye appear quite normal. The air from the lungs carries a faint floral aroma. Now, Let us examine the internal organs.
Так, хорошо, что это не показывает, а то видео пришлось бы... Ага. Видимо, все-таки придется на видео поставить.
The heart's blood
18
vessels
плюс.
show no pathological signs. The heart tissue shows no visible pathological signs.
Печень.
The liver is enlarged. It would seem that he was suffering from an alcohol addiction. The liver tissue is brown. There are no visible pathological signs.
Желудок.
The stomach tissues show no visible pathological signs. There is a small amount of content. It appears that he breakfasted lightly, only a short while before his death.
Легкие.
The lungs are congested and edematous.
Опа.
The tissue on the inferior lobe of the right lung is damaged, most probably caused by toxins from an unknown plant. My suspicions have been substantiated. Montague Dunn, the director of Kew Gardens, died from poisoning. Plant poisoning, to be more exact.
You mean
Yes, it is murder.
we should inform Lestrade?
Yes, but do remember, Watson, that I discovered the murder. The challenge is mine.
The challenge, Holmes?
We need to locate that deadly plant. Such a perfect murder appeals to me.
Murder of any kind appeals to you. Is that all we need to do?
No, we also have the people working at Kew Gardens. Martin Hamish and the son of the victim, Albert Dunn.
And also Miss White, of whom we spoke with Mr. Hamish. Should we bring them all here for interrogation?
No, a few innocuous questions at Kew will suffice, as well as a discreet delve into their personal affairs. Yes, Watson, it is time now to open the doors.
Even those in the staff building. I suppose that is necessary.
We should also be concerned with the victim himself. After all, we don't know very much about Montague Dunn.
You're enjoying this already, aren't you?
More than a little.
Да, вот тут Холмс слегка отдает шизофрении, я бы сказал. Так. Видимо, сейчас нам нужно поговорить с Лестрейдом.
Locked.
А где сам Лестрейд? Здесь у нас никого нету. А, стоп. Нам же нужно осмотреть личные вещи.
A beautiful
Ручка.
feather pen of a good make.
Клубная карта.
A membership card for the London Crest
Лондонский
Club.
гребень.
This
Yes,
watch is of great value.
То есть ничего интересного. А вот письмо. Мистеру Ф. Уэйну, директору печатающей компании Уэйн и сыновья. Дорогой друг, ваши плакаты для большой выставки в Kew Gardens прекрасны, однако не стоило указывать весь персонал, достаточно моего имени. Единоличник. Найдите убийцу. Так. Ух ты, пистолеты. Я не видел оружия. Тут еще интересного есть. Волынка. Череп. А это что? Обои, что ли? Да, обои. Так, ну ладно. Давайте, нам нужно поискать в архиве. И сейчас вернемся на Бейкер-стрит. Найдем все, что нас интересует. Поехали дальше. Так, вопрос, где мы будем искать? Редкие растения, ботаника, искусство и архитектура, экономика, технология, история, медицина, ботаника. Экзотические. По своей природе способны выделять токсины. В них опасны для человека. Но при специфических условиях данное растение должно отреагировать на агрессию, при которой оно выпускает ядовитые споры. Угу.
Here it is.
Так. Краденые растения как-то, видимо, связаны. Так, дальше у нас задача, как я понимаю. Секундочку. Это мы все получили. Проверьте рабочие постройки. Kew Gardens. Значит, отправляемся в Kew Gardens. Нам предстоит пообщаться с сотрудниками и осмотреть все рабочие помещения. Подобную игру, кстати, интересно было бы поиграть в режиме стрима. То есть так, часов на 5-6. А вам интересно? Если да, то оставляйте свое мнение в комментариях. И я посчитаю, сколько вас. И если вы проголосуете за подобную идею, то я ее осуществлю.
Locked.
Давайте пообщаемся для начала.
Mr. Hamish, can you explain to us what happened to the colonial collection? It seems somewhat depleted.
But, oh, most likely maintenance work, tidying up.
You're not sure then? But you're the deputy director.
Well, I am busy. I cannot be everywhere at once.
Странно, это уже наводит на какие-то размышления.
Albert told us about the tragic death of Mr. Dunn, the late director of Kew Gardens.
Tragic indeed. His heart attack was quite unexpected.
As deputy director, how was your relationship with Montague Dunn?
To be honest with you, Mr. Holmes, it could have been better. You see, every Tuesday he would carry out his inspection of the gardens, but it was solely to make an impression, great pretense that he cared at all. He would give out absurd orders, ignoring anyone else's opinion. He would then disappear for the rest of the week. He was what some might call a man of action. I'd say rather he was overzealous and chaotic. So after all, it was no wonder, perhaps, that he ended up like that, if you take into consideration his kind of lifestyle.
You mentioned that Mr. Dunn led a particular
Я смотрю,
lifestyle.
мы много от него
Well, it's no
узнаем.
secret that he enjoyed, celebrating, shall we say. He was a member of the London Smart Set. He was famous for that,
And
he had an eye for the ladies, to put it mildly, Mr. Holmes.
Mr. Hamish, can you tell us who holds the keys to the locked greenhouses?
That would be Albert, Mr. Dunn's son. Yes, Albert keeps all the keys, and one can only imagine why.
What do you mean?
Well, he was never interested in Kew Gardens before, and now all of a sudden he is trying to act as if he owns the place. I think he wants to take over the management here. He'd do better to leave that to me. He has no experience. No, none at all.
Tell me, Mr. Hamish, do you grow the more deadly variety of plant here?
You mean insectivorous? Yes, but nothing larger than that.
Мухоловок. А мы не про мухоловок говорим.
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation. Colonial Collection. Palm House. Dry Tropics. Water Lily Greenhouse. Director's Office, Cloakroom and Laboratory.
Так, вот нам для начала нужно вот в эти помещения попасть.
Nursery.
Лица. Хранилище
Seed house.
семян.
Ventilation system.
Самовентиляция. Так, вроде мы все знаем теперь, да? Или что-то мы пропустили?
Reserve.
Веранда. Все? Ровно не все. Так, нам нужно как бы найти, наверное. О, смотрите, как мы удачно зашли. Альберт. Так, мисс Уайт.
Who is Miss Margaret White?
Ah, she is the young lady who studies with me. She visits here sometimes to help out with the greenhouses. In fact, she should be here today. She wanted to work at the seed house. That's the small greenhouse across from the large glass house.
Do you work here?
Yes, but part-time only, for I'm also studying botany at the University of London.
You're following in your father's footsteps, then. That is commendable.
Well, even if botany is not my strongest suit, there are people who say that I could be a good manager.
Так, а что он по
We
поводу
noticed
колониальной
that a part of the
коллекции
colonial
знает?
collection has been cleared.
Ah, at the moment I'm just dealing with the storage room. I don't know much about the other rooms.
I imagine that your relationship with your father may have been a strained one.
Yes. I cannot say that he was a kind man, for he never listened to me at all. He forced me to work here. But now, after his death, I've been pondering it over. Perhaps he wasn't so wrong about me after all. I have to follow his path, and I have to manage Kew Gardens. And I can do it. I can be as good as any other who works here.
Ну, тут на самом деле не так много людей работает.
Would you please tell us about Martin Hamish, the deputy director?
Well, I have to tell you that Mr. Hamish is not and has never been the deputy director of Kew Gardens. My father would not have tolerated it.
Indeed? That is most interesting. He told us that he was.
Yes, because he believes that the management should be passed down to him now that my father is dead. But in actual fact, Mr. Hamish only has the honour of being the garden's longest-serving employee. In fact, if we are to think logically at all, should be me who takes over the management of Kew Gardens.
Do you not have a good relationship with Mr. Hamish?
I suppose so. But we have very little in common. Mr. Hamish loves his plants and Kew Gardens, and I cannot say that I share his passion.
I see. And how was his relationship with your father?
Oh, he hated my father. It was obvious. He would be furious whenever my father boasted of Kew Gardens in the newspapers or at conferences. He was convinced that my father was stealing all of the credit for himself. But my father treated Mr. Hamish in the same way as he treated anyone. Dismissively. With indifference.
Так,
Do you
ключики.
hold the keys to all of these locked doors?
Yes, you can have them. But I cannot give you the keys to the cloakroom. The employees' effects are private. I am sure you understand.
Так. Красневшие глаза. Меня интересует вот это. Порезался при бритье? Не молод ли он?
Thank you, young man. We shall see you again soon. Farmhouse.
Так, что у нас есть новое? Пока не связанных нету. Так. Угу. Пальмовая оранжерея. Найдем ли мы тут что-нибудь интересное? Или нет? Видимо, нет.
According to this, they have light and moisture control in some parts of the building.
Правильно, Ватсон, нужно отходить.
Water lily greenhouse. According to this, they have light and moisture control in some parts of the building.
Лилии. Так, здесь ничего пока нет. Это вот там как раз, где мы и были с вами, друзья мои. Колониальная коллекция. Она пустая. Здесь мы уже все осматривали. Да, все осмотрели. Пойдемте дальше. Климат зала с лилиями.
Water lily greenhouse.
Давайте будем все
According to
читать.
this, they have light.
Раз уж нам нужно все осмотреть.
According to
Мешки какие-то.
dry tropics.
Так. Я надеюсь, я не сильно быстро мотаю головой.
These flower pots are beautiful. They are intended to be used for exhibition purposes. The symbol is not from Kew Gardens.
Угу. Ну вот, может, что-то интересное уже и нашли.
Dry tropics.
Так, так, так. Здесь вроде ничего. Тут у нас тоже ничего. И здесь выход.
There is a smell of burning. The symbol is not from Kew Gardens. The remains of a picture frame. The remains of a picture frame. A broom handle was half burned. The plants were set alight fairly recently. Some have not completely burned. A door handle? Why would anyone throw such a thing in the fire? The door handle to the colonial collection and that of the fireplace are made of the same material. A protective mask.
Так.
Someone set it alight, but it did not burn.
Что ж, друзья мои, давайте, наверное, на сегодня на этом закончим. Оставляйте комментарии, подписывайтесь на канал, ставьте лайки. Дальше будет только интересней. А на сегодня я с вами прощаюсь. Всем пока.